everybody. Time to cook some breakfast. Let's see, that light seems kind of bright right there. Hold on a second. Yeah, you can. Oh, that's a so-so. But anyways, I was about to cook, and I thought I'd just come in and say, hey, how you doing? Hold on a second. I think you got a pretty good view. My pots and pans. I'm going to have some Italian sausage. It's a signature sausage. Obviously, I used some. And it's just your standard sausage. And I just take little chunks out, make your patties, that kind of thing. But yeah, what is it? Today it is exactly 8 a.m. here. It is July the 28th. It is Saturday, July the 28th. And I so look forward to doing more cooking videos. I haven't really said anything about it. That's a sausage. I just kind of form it into some little patties of any kind of shape. It's just me, no fancy Dan here. And I've got my pans kind of set up. This is an itty bitty. Let me see. Let me get this correct. This is the front. I've been known for turning the wrong burners on. So anyway, yeah, I take my sausage out, and as I stated last evening, I do have work tonight, but that's not till way into the way late. So for me, a couple of patties is good enough. Just shape it, make it as flat as possible. The flatter it is, the quicker it cooks. Hold on. Let's see if you can pull like that. You see that? Let me see. Yeah, you can see that. Just like that. No big wahoo deal here. I just wanted to say, hey, how you doing? Hold on. You gotta have kind of a fine balance. And then I like to scramble my eggs and make an omelet of sorts. Sometimes it ends up being an omelet. Sometimes if it fails, it ends up being scrambled eggs. So we'll just crack a couple in here. But yeah, I must admit, when I realize I have to go back, my stomach kind of churns a little bit. And then I just pray a little bit about it, and then I just keep going. So basically, I have my 2 eggs. Remember these from the haul? I'm putting them into use. So we grind some fresh pepper in there. And I have to have a little bit of adobo. Throw that in there. And then I put, it sounds kind of goofy, but I put just a little, maybe a tablespoon of water in my eggs and my 2% milk. Just throw a little splash in there. And I usually like to break my yolks and then whisk them up really, really good until they're frothy. You know, to where they look like they have bubbles and stuff. Alicia Hayes and Stephanie Nicole, good morning, girls. But anyway, we mix it up till it's nice and bubbly and frothy. That's the way I like to do it. And where's my margarine? I thought, oh, here. Hold on a second. I got to lower this. This is the front. That's a little bit too high for Grandma. And I just throw a little bit of margarine into this one here, where I'm going to put my eggs. I know it's not the most healthiest thing, but what can I tell you? Oh, that's kind of a little bit too hot. Let's lower that down to below medium. It's an electric stove. It's the tiniest, well, I can't say it's the tiniest stove I've ever had. When I was in a camper many years ago, I got to pull that back. Yeah, that's too hot. But I wait until it gets bubbly. When it gets bubbly, I literally keep mixing. Straighten that out. I keep mixing them just every last bit to the last second. And for me, doing that seems to make them a little bit more fluffy. Now, that's just me. Yes, gas, I love gas or propane cooking. I feel you have a little bit more control. You know, with electric, it's a so-so thing. You try to get to know your stove, you know. Like it'll say medium, but sometimes medium can be, the heat can be just a little bit too low, or with medium, the heat can be a little bit too high. And when you're baking with this particular tiny oven or stove, it's uneven. I'll put in 6 biscuits and like 4 of them will appear to be just starting to get golden while the other 2 are almost still raw in the middle. So you're playing this kind of game trying to figure it out. I'll tell you, your stove definitely has a personality, if you will. I know it sounds kind of ignorant, but if you will. Okay, so we have eggs, sausage, and then gotta have some grits. A lot of people don't like grits. Some people like grits. Some people do not. Now, I had the water started with the grits before I came on. Here's the rear. So we're going to crank that back up. Hold on a second. You know what? I'm tired of looking like this. Yes. So anyways, the water starts boiling for the little pan for the grits, and I think it's 2-3 tablespoons per 3/4. Think of 2 or 3 tablespoons per 3/4 cup of water. I kind of eye it. Remember Grandma? She would just, I don't measure no particular. I just look at it. Just look at it. Keep adding this stuff. Look at it. I'm like, look at it. What's the measurement? Just look. When it look like this, it's good. That's what she was. My mother. If it look like this, it's good. I'm like, oh, okay. I've never seen that. I've never seen that in a cookbook, but I'll tell you what, she knew what she was doing. So basically, I just stir them in, just very little. There's very little water. I only got a little bit left. I got to get some more. So yeah, and then, sorry, I'm not, this isn't a fancy cooking show. I actually have to tilt and show you. This is not Rachel Ray. I like to smush them down. And the cheese, the cold. Sorry, the cheese. Hi, Jacob. I'm just in for a few minutes. I was about to cook. Uh-oh, we need to lower this down. I'm just doing some grits sausage and eggs. I gotta stop yapping before I burn everything. Hold on. Make sure I'm lowering the right one. It's the 5-minute grits. I'm cheating. So I take my Colby Jack. Hold on. Let me see. Make sure. Let's do like the professionals. As you use your ingredients, set stuff to the side. Oh, I loved her. Oh, what's that woman's name? Oh, goodness gracious, it escapes me. Julia Child. Bon appetit. So anyway, I put my cheese in there. I better get right quick with this. And then I try to fold this in half. Oh, we have success. We have ignition and liftoff, kids. So just like that. And then I try to squeeze y'all know this is cooking 101. We all do it. And I just try to squeeze some of the egg that's inside that's still raw to the edge. Oops, to the edge. So it kind of seals it. And then let's give it a shot. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Hold on. Here we go. And then throw some on the floor. Just like Julia Child does. I'm sure she has assistants on their knees where you can't see them on camera, and they right quick come with a sponge and wipe all that up. Then when the camera backs up, the floor miraculously is clean, and you can't think, I thought she just threw something on the floor. And you look down and the floor is clean. There's several little people, some folks down there helping her. But anyway, basically, there you have your egg. Then we got to turn that off. Oh, let's do this right quick. I don't know what I was thinking. I knew I was a little bit hungry. And, you know, I wish I had a very long banquet table. And I could pull all of you out of that computer and set you down, and you could sit here and get some food. Dollar Princess, hi. See, it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit of grits. But you can see that's about the consistency. Like my mother said, when it looks like that, it's good. When it looks like this, just about, at least for me, like that. And for those of you that don't know what grits are, I guess they equate to farina. Remember farina with the little baby on the box, the cereal? Hi, Disgruntled Garden. Good morning. So now we can officially turn that off. And remember when I had a full loaf of bread the other day? I'm a breadaholic. I admit it, me and Oprah. The one I got for 72 cents, well, I've been busy. Making tuna fish sandwiches. I wanted so badly last night to go out late and get a piece of carrot cake. But my hips and my belly said, no, you don't. So I got my little bread here. And you know how you got to time things. It's like, okay, when do I start the toast? This toaster, not very happy with it. It's a Hamilton Beach toaster. And, uh-oh, hold on. Got to turn it that way. For goodness sakes. There we go. But yeah. Let me try to get rid of a few of these things. Got to be professional. I'm my own assistant. Let me grab that piece of egg from the floor. But yeah, I put my plate over here. I took a close look at that china closet, and it's got broken here, broken there, broken here, broken there. And I think what happened is because there is no glass in the two spots, you know, in the middle, it wasn't all the way even in strength. And so when they probably loaded it on the truck, maybe it fell over and stuff like that. And think of wood that's dry and 60 years old. And you put all that, no matter how you wrap it in a box, you know, it wasn't professionally wrapped. It was wrapped by me. I am not a professional. And so in the tossing and turning, little thin, the frame. Hey, we have a professional in the building. Tess cooks for you. Hey, Tess, want to watch me fludge through making my normal breakfast? Tess cooks for you. Oh, I put butter in the grits. I haven't put them on the plate yet. Oh, we put some butter, a little pepper. For me, it's illegal. It's illegal not to put a little bit of margarine or butter in your grits. Here you have your Italian sausage. All right. We'll just slide the pan over here. Here you have your Italian sausage. You have your Colby pepper jack little omelet right there. Oh, hold the phone, hold the phone. You don't want it to burn. Ah, I finally got that toast before it burns. You know how many I've donated many a piece of burnt toast to the landfill. Unfortunately, the cat won't eat burnt toast. So, hold on. Okay. Moving stuff out of the way so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. And then we got our itty bitty little bit. Oh, shall I do to the side? Got our little bit of grits because it's just me. Okay. And the toaster is unplugged, so I'm not going to electrocute myself. We got our the Italian bread I got the other day, like I told you earlier, for 72 cents. There's something about the texture of bread like that when you toast it and you put the margarine on it, and my mouth is watering thinking about it. When you toast bread like this kind of bread, and you put a little margarine or butter or what have you, and it starts to melt in the crevices of the bread. It's chewy and soft at the same time. As I've told y'all before, I am a foodie, and it's about flavor It's about flavor for me. It's about texture. And when things, I just tell you, when I was in the housing projects with my mom and things were kind of questionable and crazy, food was my comfort. I could eat, I'm not even going to lie to you. I could eat a half gallon of ice cream by myself and, you know, just go in, get a cup or two, go sit in my room in tears and eat, you know, and just eat and eat until one day, normally, you know, if you did something naughty, my mother would yell. As you can tell, I have a really big mouth. Guess where I got that from? And so everything's off. Okay. Actually, I have to talk to myself to make sure I turn stuff off. Derek Nelson, Alex, just me. Good morning. So we put a little bit of margarine on our grits. But anyway, getting back to that ice cream where I was eating and eating and eating and eating for comfort. I'm eating to make myself feel better so I don't have to think about what's going on around me. And I think that's what a lot of overweight folks are going through. That's what I really think. It's not really, you're not hungry. You're trying to fill yourself where you're empty in other categories of your life. That's why you're eating like that. You eat, oh, I'm scared. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, I'm upset with my boyfriend. Oh, he just dumped me. You know what I mean? And we're feeling kind of empty and kind of emotional. So we run to that fridge and run and get that ice cream and run and get that cake. Sometimes we combine foods together that we would never combine in public in front of other people. Just throwing mayonnaise, extra mayonnaise, and just crazy, you know, trying to comfort ourselves. Don't mean to go off topic, but everything is connected in some way, shape, or form. And some people don't do marijuana, they don't do cocaine, they don't do drugs, but they do this, they do food, and they'll do this breakfast, and then about 30 minutes, an hour later, have a sandwich. How do I know that? I used to do that. I confess. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the only reason why I know about at least that portion of it for me. You know, we got to wrap the sausage. I'm talking to you, but I'm thinking, you got to put stuff in the fridge. But anyways, I digress. Let's put this back. And then let's put our milk back and our bread back right quick. But it is the quickest breakfast for grandma. And I usually don't like cooking by myself. Sometimes I do if I'm in the mood, because cooking can be therapeutic in a way. But the best part is if you have someone to share it with. So when you're by yourself, you tend to make very simple meals. You say, if I make a tray of lasagna, what am I going to do? I got to freeze most of it, you know. But you have basically a cheesy omelet, some grits, and some Italian toast, Italian bread toasted. And I'd like to bring you over here just for a few more moments. Caleb. You know what I should have did if I would have done this just right? I didn't think about this till just a few moments ago. I should have said, hey, at this time I'm going to be cooking. When you cook, we'll cook, and we could have all cooked together. I think we should try to figure that out somehow. Hi, 21 people that are watching. We have been on for, according to this screen on the upper left-hand side, we've been on for 18 minutes and soon to be 19 minutes. So what we're going to try to do with the Scoofy laptop is, I don't know how bright this light is. Very bright. There's actually 5 bulbs there, and that's why I'm trying to figure out a way to do this to where you can see me and not have it be so bright on you. Let's try that. I apologize for my unprofessional manner here. The Black Panther t-shirt for the movie, Walmart, $3. I got a possible solution here. How about we try that? And I don't know if that makes it any worse or any better. Let me do the hallway light and see. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better, my friends. Let's see if you can see me. I think you can. But anyways, oh, hold on. We got to have that black pepper and a little bit of salt. I know I'm going against the grain. I know there's some people that just don't like the thought that, you know, they have a very strict diet. I understand that. But usually it's just a little bit of salt. And then just got to have black pepper on my grits. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the food that you have given me. I pray that you bless it to the nourishment of my body. In the name of Jesus, I do pray. Amen. But yeah, so we'll stay on for just a few moments. But I've always wanted to cook breakfast live. And so here we are. Basically, there is your... It came out pretty good. If I would have went a little longer, I might have burnt the thing. Let's see. Really good. And the nice part about it, at least for me, when I'm mixing the eggs and I put the little bit of water in there, and I am mixing the eggs as I pour it into the pans up to the last teaspoon of egg, I find, at least for me, the eggs come out a little bit more fluffy, like the frothiness or the bubbles in it. It just seems to go through, to hold its consistency, if you will. And it makes the eggs a little more fluffy. Now, how do I know that? You think, I'm no genius. When I was 16, Edwin, my boyfriend, was 15. And he worked in the kitchen. He got a little job in the kitchen of a restaurant. And he, you know, would come to visit me and he would tell me certain set things. And he would say, add a little water. And then he'd say, when you're cooking your eggs and you put your margarine or whatever that is in there, and the margarine itself becomes bubbly. And as that's bubbling, you mix to the last drop. He says, that'll make it fluffy. And that's how I know that. Edwin Quinones. Oh, yes. And see the cheese in there. Looks pretty good. And for me, these grits aren't as soft as I would like them to be, but they're okay. But this is what your grits are going to look like. A little bit, they should be a little bit more soupy, a little bit more soft, but we eat, you know. Really good. Somebody just made, oh my goodness, who is this? Tess cooks for you. Thank you so very much. You have a wonderful day too. Thank you so very much for being so generous to me, honey. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then there's something, when you have the toast like this, it's chewy, soft and chewy, and that's how I like it. Of course, I have the regular bread, but when I see this on sale, I like to get it. And it's just kind of I don't know how to describe it, soft and chewy, I guess, if you will. But yeah, but let's go back to the ice cream story for a second. So my mother realized, of course, that I was in there and I was running in there, taking a cup of ice cream, running in there, taking a cup of ice cream. And I was at the table and I'm eating. And she comes up to me. I thought she was going to spank me because, you know, money is very thin back then, you know. She's trying to raise 3 daughters and an autistic son, you know, and money's tight. And that ice cream is supposed to last all week. And I'm just eating it and eating it and eating it, just trying to feel better. You know, I'm no prom queen beauty. And there was a few kids at school that made sure that I understood that, you know, kids tease you and all just different kinds of things. When you're going from being a young girl to a young woman and all the emotions therein, you still feel like a kid, but yet your body's becoming you know what I mean? All these different things, and I would comfort myself by eating. Yes, I'm about a size 8-10 now, but I think I was about a size 16 or 17, 18. No big deal. Size, you know, the size of your body doesn't matter unless it's unhealthy. You're unhealthy inside. But anyways, she just come over to me. And she put her arm around me, and she just very tenderly, she goes, man, she goes, the ice cream is a dessert. And you have it after you eat dinner, and you have a little bit. You're not supposed to eat all of it like that. And she just looked me right in the eye. She wasn't mad. She was very tender with me. She said, do you understand? More like, do you understand? I understand. I kind of pulled back from eating like that. You know, it was very hard. Food became my very best friend. And I know secretly food or whatever it is someone's very best friend. It's not illegal. It's not a drug. You know, you can eat, you can overeat and get behind the wheel. You cannot drink and get behind the wheel. I'm talking about alcohol and get behind the wheel. You know, so food is a wonderful thing. It's a comfort food, especially a good bowl of chili or a good bowl of soup in the deep part of the winter. You know, in the summer it's so hot. You want a salad, you want ice cream, you want something light. It's hard to eat heavy, you know, in the summer. It just doesn't, for me, I just can't do it. The other thing I like to do as I'm actually eating, I actually make a mini sandwich while I'm eating. I'll throw everything together and just, you know. No talking with the mouth full, and try not to smack. This is going to sound silly. You get these glasses. Mahalia, good morning. Let me do that correctly. Mahalia, 55. Welcome and good morning. Go to the tree and you get a glass like this. And if I can find it, where did I put it? Oh, here we go. And so I've got this Minute Maid strawberry lemonade, right? And I'll just pour some in here. If I can, oh, wait a minute, I got to take that thingy back. And pour some in here. Right? 1 second. And I don't know how to describe it. You should have a special glass or something. Even if the glass costs you $50 or $1. Get yourself a special glass that's just for you. And it kind of makes you feel special. You're sitting in your everyday, ordinary, certain. A limousine is not going to pull up for most of us and take us to work. You know, the stylist is not going to show up with the summer clothing, knock at your mansion door and bring you in clothing that's exactly your size so you could pick the exact clothing that you want. People like that can't be seen on camera wearing the same thing twice. That's just their lifestyle, right? But for just a moment, you can have your special glass. Cheers. And you can feel special, you know? And those are some of the goofy things I'm doing in public, but I usually do in private. I just have my little glass. Now this one, I got from my daughter-in-law, and she didn't take it with her. I have another one up there, so I just choose to use this one. And I picked it up for her, and I said, she goes, thank you, Mom. I said, you're a queen. You have to have your special glass. And the kids are running around and driving you crazy and stuff like that. And they finally go down for nap time. You crack open a soda. I go, pour your soda into this glass and sit down and just do this. Come back to yourself. You can do little things to make yourself feel special, because you are. I started this channel because I had nobody to talk to. And at that time, and I guess besides sharing, the most important thing is sharing for those who choose to believe, talking about the master above kind of guiding our lives. I just want Jane and John Doe, I want you to feel special. Because, sorry to be emotional, because sometimes there's no one in your life to tell you how wonderful you are. That's why I'm here with my teeny tiny little channel. To the few people that I talk to, I'm here to help myself feel better and to let things out. And I'm here to make you feel special because you are. And I don't want you to forget that. It's not about the sausage and it's not about the eggs, the toast or the grits. It's about you. And that's why I'm here. And I feel like the master has me doing this itty bitty little channel for that very reason. Hold on. Yeah, I like that too. You know, we have all this stuff and we have all this like physical stuff of all the stuff that we're dealing with. And sometimes you ever get up with a sigh, you're laying on your back or your side and you just open one eye and look around, you know what you got to do. And just for a moment, you got to be careful with it though. You wake up with I say you have to be careful with it because you let the sigh drag onto a feeling, you won't get out of bed. And you swing your legs over onto the floor and you go in and take care of your potty business, and maybe you want to wash your face and brush your teeth, whatever order of way you do things, and have your coffee and have your tea. I know I'm all over the place, but I think there's more of us than there is of the limousine-driven people. There's more of us, and we do matter. I dare say if Jane and John Doe, I've said this before and I'll say it again, if all the Jane and John Does in the United States of America slid their hands in their pockets or folded their arms and didn't work, us invisible people, the country would come to a grinding halt. Oh yes, it would. It would. To those making minimum wage or those that are making you're making $7 or $8 an hour depending on your state, or $10 an hour. Somebody's making 20 and somebody's a professional and someone is salaried. If we all collectively put our hands in our pocket, all of a sudden we would become very important. If we all at the same time decided we would not go to Walmart for a day, all over the United States, a screeching halt. Your dollar is as important as someone that has several of them. Yes, yes. Not putting them down. I'm just trying to let you realize how important you are. Well, yeah, came out pretty good. Sometimes I don't feel like eating early in the morning, but sometimes I do. And sometimes I let what's happening get in the way, you know, and we can't do that. We have to strengthen ourselves by his grace. And I have to tell myself, what does he want me to do? And I have to tell myself, I don't want to be a disappointment to you. So yes, I will stop sighing. I will swing my legs over to the side of the bed, get up and get moving. Give him the thanks and all of the glory. He had the nerve to wake my sorry behind up this morning. He gave me another day, and for that I'm very grateful. But yeah, everybody is special. I don't care who excuse me. I don't care who you are or where you come from. But anywho, I digress. A long digress. I I glued part of that thing together, part of that china closet together. And I have to admit something to you. Timmy has a truck. Someone asked who is Tim? The ex-boyfriend. He has a truck, so I said, hey, I got a few things to move, including that box, the chair back there, and a dresser that was gifted to my son and daughter-in-law. And so when he was driving, I could see him in the rearview mirror behind us. All of a sudden, oh, he was in front of us. I'm sorry. He was in front of us. Excuse me. And all of a sudden, he pulls into the side of this parking lot, and we keep going. And then he shows up a minute or two later, and he said that the items fell off the truck, and he had to put them back on the truck. And so I had the china closet over there, and I'm looking at the damage to it, and I thought that maybe the box fell off, and he didn't say anything. He was afraid. So I'm texting him. I said, hey, I got a question for you. You know, when the items fell off the truck, did my mother's box fall off the truck? I said, because I opened it up yesterday, and the thing is, it's in very, very bad shape, you know. And of course, the enemy steps in. I start getting mad, and I start imagining that he let it fall and didn't say anything. But he said, no. He said the dresser and that lounge chair, that recliner fell off. He says, but her box didn't fall off. And of course, I apologized. Isn't that ridiculous? Here the man is helping me. I told you we're not together, and he's involved with another person. And, you know, you know how you know people? I can kind of tell he's not happy. It's kind of like sometimes people will pull another human being into their life because they're lonely, you know. And I think that's a huge mistake, because if you're not 100% invested in a person, and it's for all the wrong reasons, because you're lonely, you are going to kind of suck the life out of that person because you're kind of needy. You're needing that void of loneliness to be filled in. And I refuse to pull a man into my life at this point like that. You have to be God-fearing, and I have to like you, you know. I'm just not going to pull a man into my life and get him all happy and stuff like that, where I'm pulling, basically, let me stop being so wordy. I'm pulling you into my life because I'm lonely. I'm pulling you into my life because I have a void that needs to be filled. I'm not talking about a sexual void. I just need somebody. It's Valentine's Day. I need somebody. It's my birthday. I'd like to go to dinner and have someone across the table. I need somebody. That's very, for me, in my opinion, for me, not for y'all, that's very selfish, because that's not going to last. You can't have a part of a person that's messed up emotionally and wanting, and another person that's kind of wanting, and each person is wanting the other to make up the difference for where they're lacking. Wanting love is normal and stuff like that, but where you're emotionally lacking and temporarily emotionally immature, you're just going to kind of feed off each other, and you can't really enjoy each other, you know, because you're so busy, just not you, but I'm just a figure of speech. You're so busy just sucking the life out of that person. Make me whole, make me feel good, make me feel better. I got to kind of work out that with him and within myself, knowing myself. Sometimes we have to sit down, get a mirror, and get to know ourselves better. And the other thing that happens with that is you settle. Don't settle. I'm telling you, I've done it too many times. Settle and you settle and you settle, and you are doing a disservice to the other person, which is kind of a selfish thing, and you're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're letting a year or two go by wasting their time and your own time. Can you imagine just trying to cook breakfast and coming into this kind of conversation? That's how it is with me. You should see the conversations that my son and I get into. And we can be talking about maybe the ambulance just went by. We pull over to the right side of the road and let it go by. And we'll see that and we'll start talking about, oh, I hope the person's okay. I hope the person tending to them, maybe we'll say, Father, in Jesus' name, I pray the person tending to the person they're going to will be calm. And I pray that the person that's being treated will be made 100% whole and that their family will be calm and that everything will be okay. We'll kind of do that. And then that rolls off into a long conversation and we'll end up just talking about any and everything. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I do enjoy conversations like that. And someone would ask me, what's your channel all about? And why are you here? What's your skill? What's your talent, And all I know how to do is talk. And express what I think some of you are feeling. Derek says, the only time I've ever had grits was in jail. I imagine they don't taste as good as others make. Yeah, I would say so. Here you have the cook in the prison, in the jail. And of course, they're going to give the cheapest food possible. And they're making it in mass. And sometimes you'll get it good and sometimes you won't. Okay, let me just make up the slop. They're in there, kind of grumbling and they're in there cooking, But anyways, hold on. I want to read what Gardens, and this is the thing. I apologize for missing the chat because I'm just running my mouth. Garden City Food Forest. Before my mom died, she told me to use the china daily. Oh, yes. Not just on special occasions. That if I break it, I break it. I later inherited her china at her death and use it daily. That's a wonderful thing. I'm sorry you lost your mama, dear heart, but that's a wonderful thing. You've seen maybe TV shows and maybe just people talk about they have the dining room and they have the thing that all your fine china and stuff goes in, the hutch, if you will. And it's Christmas, anniversaries, and birthdays, and it's almost like you can't sit on the good chair. Don't touch any of the furniture in there. You barely have to clean in there because no one's allowed in there. It's like it's kind of like a weird shrine of sorts, and it's nothing's ever used. And you've spent $5,000 on payments, or maybe you inherited a beautiful dining set, and like you had just said, the beautiful china that you were blessed to inherit from your mama. And it just sits there. I agree with Mama, rest her soul. I agree. Just go ahead and use the stuff. Don't just let it sit there. Enjoy it. What did it say? Give me flowers. I said that a long time ago in a video. Give me flowers while I can smell them. Don't put I know this sounds kind of whatever, and I'm sorry, I don't want to make anybody sad, but give me flowers where I can smell them and enjoy them, at least for me. Don't just give them to me on top of a casket. Just give them to me now, because I won't be able to smell them then. The hugs and the I love yous are very important. Yes, they are. Because what happens, at least for me, when you lose a person, you start grappling at all these different memories of things. And then you start thinking to yourself, was I good? Was I respectful? Did I anger that person? And then here comes the guilt. So you might as well show your love if, depending on the relationship status, how you're doing. Try to make up with that person and show them that love and appreciation right now. And show them now. If you don't have the means to get them something, just bring yourself in there. and cook them something or clean something or drive them somewhere or help them with something. Even if they're a chatterbox, and it's kind of irritating because sometimes you know how we old people are. Look, can you see how I am? Ba, 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 ba. Let's appreciate them now. I'm telling you. My younger sister had a huge fight with my mom, the night before. And it took many months for me to calm her down. She felt really bad. I said, you didn't have any idea of what was going to happen. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about that. Come here. Come over here. Come here. Can I do this without you scratching me? Come here. Now this thing, I don't want her near that table. The other day, I think she's finally starting to realize, because she's starting to walk up and down the hallway. It was very weird. She came out of the room and she was just raring like an ambulance siren, just crying almost and sobbing. It's kind of like, I don't know if she was coming to the realization that, why are you coming out of our little room, our little haven? And maybe she finally now understands that she has the run of the house. But it was the weirdest thing to see her like that, But now I think she gets it and she's quite happy. You know how they leave their scent? They kind of rub against everything. She's going nuts and they're rubbing against a little couch and a little chair. And I realized I called the lazy boy a couch yesterday or something. I do that a lot. I say the wrong thing. I don't mean it. It's like it comes out wrong. But in my head, I'm saying chair, but out of my mouth comes sofa. I said sofa about the chair, and then I said and the other sofa, and I look back at it, and I'm like, did I really do that? Yes, I did. Yes, they do. I'll tell you, I've had many a deep conversation and a lot of tears with her, and I know that sounds kind of goofy, but she's actually right there, tail going like this, and she'll just sort of circle around until if I want to go lay back down or something. Anyways, I'm going to go just for now. It's been about 47 minutes. And I want to make sure that I do this correctly. Derek Nelson and Garden City Food Forest. And Tess Cooks for You. And I want to roll this back if I can. Disgruntled Gardener, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for being so generous to me. A Silver Fox, I said Tess Cooks for You. Alex Just Me, Colleen, Jacob Lemon, Alicia Hayes. Oh goodness, I hope I don't miss anybody. Stephanie Nicole, Gina SLOOVE, Dollar Princess 101. Some of you may not still be here, but there's 19 of you watching and there's 14 thumbs up. Thank you so very much that's a lot, at least for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I may come in a little bit later before work. We'll see. I just wanted to say, hey, make a little breakfast, have a little conversation. Take care, everyone. Love you.